Hi, it's Tara. It's been a little bit, and I apologize for anyone who actually is watching these videos in a timely manner. Um, it's been a few weeks now, couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks since I last posted a video. That's the thing about life. Even when you got something like Bell's palsy going on, life still goes on. So I've had a lot of non-Bell's palsy related events in my life that have just kept me busy. So I apologize if you have been waiting for my video, but it's finally here. So it has been 13 weeks. I just checked before I started this, counted up the days. 13 weeks and 4 days since I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy. And I know, or I understand that most people, by around the 3-month mark, are fully recovered from Bell's palsy. So I'm obviously going into that territory of the longer recovery patients, which I try not to think about, to be honest with you. I either try not to think about because it makes me anxious and I just start to go, to those places of thinking, what if this never goes away? What is this going to mean for the rest of my life? I try not to go there because I know that's probably not reality. Obviously, it could be reality. And the longer it goes on, the more it feels like that could be reality. But I still know that it's not the likely scenario. The likely scenario is still that I'm going to heal from this. I might have some residual effects. I think is it called skenesis? Anyway, some residual things that I feel like I could live with. I just would really love to be able to close my eye. That would be amazing. I want to close my right eye again. That's the hardest part right now. If I can close my right eye, as much as I would hate to have to deal with the other stuff going on, I guess I could get used to that. Just want my right eye to close. Anyway, so since the last time I posted, which is like two or 3 weeks ago, there hasn't been a lot of improvement. There is improvement, but it is so hard to see. So I will say what I've noticed in the past couple weeks, one is that I'm getting a little bit of movement in my forehead. I feel like up until a few weeks ago, there was like no movement in my forehead. So when I would like go like this, it was pretty much only here over there was anything going on. Now I am starting to see the subtlest little bit of a line trailing this way. You probably can't even see it in the video, but I can see it at home. So some of that movement in my forehead is coming back, which is great. I also feel like when I smile, obviously I still am mostly going, this side of my face, but when I smile or talk, I guess maybe it doesn't look as weird. I don't know. When I see it in the video, I feel like it looks the same, but when I smile, it's not as like this. So something must be happening over here. I can't really see it, but there must be some muscle function coming back. And then with my eye, I still obviously can't close it. I get those crocodile tears throughout the day. So my lower eyelid, I think partly because of the crocodile tears, my eyelashes stick to my lower eye and then it kind of just is like glue and it holds it down even more. But I think some of that looseness of that muscle below my lower eye would be there regardless, which doesn't, keeps the tears, it causes the tears to fall out. But I think there is a little bit more blinking in this eye, maybe a little bit. And when I try to close it fully, this is what it looks like. So I don't know, maybe a little bit better. A little bit better. A very, very little bit, but a little bit. So one thing that I have been doing is I've been doing a few times a day. There's a website that I'll share the address with you in a second, but a website that's for the Facial Nerve Center, which is located in Boston, which thankfully is Boston, Massachusetts, which is very close to where I live. We live about 20 minutes away from Boston. So very fortunate to have really probably a nationally renowned facial nerve center so close to us that I'm looking to go to. Unfortunately, there's a wait list. Planning on getting in there maybe late December, early January. And right now we're in early October. So a few months away. But the fact that it is close by us, I have to count my blessings about. So anyway, on this website, talking about how to protect your eye, they do recommend an eye exercise. So you basically hold down your eyelid, because obviously it wants to spring back open. You hold it down, and then you use your other hand to kind of gently pull up the skin of your eyelid, of your eyebrow. And I think it's to stretch out that eyelid muscle to keep it from becoming paralyzed, to kind of help it along in the healing process. So you do that for 30 seconds, and then you let it go. Even just that little bit of time, you can see that there's something going on there. And then you let it go, and I guess you're supposed to do that a few times a day. So I've been doing that. Yeah, I haven't really been doing any other facial exercises. I have kids, and if it was one of them dealing with this, I would be, Googling it like crazy and doing all this research, and maybe it's a mom thing. I'm sure other moms can relate, but when it comes to myself, I don't know. I have a mental block on being more proactive. But at the same time, I also feel like I need to have probably a doctor, an expert, tell me what to do versus me just Googling things and just doing whatever I see on YouTube or see on the internet. That could have, counterproductive impact or no impact. So the best thing for me really to do at this point is to get into this facial nerve center and work with one of their physical therapists maybe, and try and do some things to help stimulate, my muscles, or to at least prevent long-term side effects from my condition. So the name of the website, the company that I'm going to be going to, it's called the Facial Nerve Center. And the website, which I recommend going to because it does talk a lot about different treatment options and surgeries that people can do to try and help with their Bell's palsy or just facial nerve damage in general, not just Bell's palsy, lots of different types of facial nerve damage syndromes. The website is called facialnervecenter.org. So I definitely recommend checking it out just to kind of familiarize yourself with different treatment options that are available. And obviously, if you live somewhere in the Boston area or close enough that you can drive to this center, recommend getting an appointment. And then if you don't live close by, maybe researching facial nerve centers and kind of where different ones. I'm sure there are other ones out there, and seeing if that's a possibility. I wish now, in retrospect, that I had maybe looked to book this appointment or done this research as soon as I got diagnosed with Bell's palsy. But I was just kind of hopeful that I was going to be one of those people that I was going to bounce back in a few months, and this wouldn't, an appointment like this wouldn't be necessary. So now I'm in a little bit of that holding pattern with getting in to see this nerve center and wanting it to be sooner and having to accept that I might not be in there for a few more months. So anyway, so that's that. Other things, I did see my neurologist again last week, and she was like me, discouraged and surprised that I haven't made more progress. So aside from going to see this facial nerve center, she also wants me to get a repeat MRI because there is still inflammation around that 7th cranial nerve. And I guess the point of the MRI, waiting a few months out from my last MRI, is to see if there's an improvement. And if there's not an improvement, I'm not exactly sure what we would do. I did learn from going on this facial nerve center website that there is a surgery that people do that basically opens up this cranial nerve. They go in somewhere and they kind of open the area up. And it's supposed to maybe help with the recovery process and reducing inflammation. But even on the website itself, it does acknowledge that it's not proven to be effective. So it is a scary idea about doing something that's kind of like, we'll see, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. either way, we're cutting into the area where this nerve is. I don't know. Again, my mind hasn't gone there yet, but I guess it is something that people do. So anyway, that is where I am. That is my update. Sorry that it was kind of a long one, but I feel like I had a lot of things to talk about from the last time I posted. I'll try to post every week. I don't know how much improvement there is going to be. So part of me, I think that's part of what has not put the fire under me to post, is that there really wasn't a lot to talk about as far as recovery. And I do know there is a YouTuber who, I'm sure if you found my YouTube channel, you probably already found this girl's YouTube channel, but her YouTube handle is FitGirl15, I believe. And she has a whole series about her recovery from Bell's palsy. And she was definitely somebody who had, like myself, a very long journey with Bell's palsy with very little improvement initially. And eventually, I think it took her about 9 or 10 months, roughly, she did have pretty much full recovery. I know she still has some mild effects from her Bell's palsy, but nothing that has fully interfered with her life the way it did initially, the way that, you know, it does for me right now. So that's optimistic. To see somebody who's gone through the same long struggle and to know that she came out of it on the other side. So she has some great videos. I definitely recommend checking it out. FitGirl15 is, again, her YouTube handle. So anyway, that is it. I hope this video was helpful. I hope that if you are dealing with Bell's palsy, that you are staying strong and optimistic, and maybe doing the research that I haven't been doing. And just know that you are not alone in this journey. There are other people like me out there who are dealing with it too. And we're going to be better and stronger on the other side of this. Life throws you challenges, and a challenge is a wasted opportunity if you can't learn something from it, or you can't come out better from it. So I am still determined, and I am confident that this is going to be not a missed opportunity in my life, and that I'm going to be better on the other side. And I hope that you feel the same way. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day.